Los 790. You're listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I'm Karl Gerber. I'm a real workplace lawyer, and I forgot to say, good morning, Los Angeles and the Inland Empire. Hey, it's never the wrong time to plan your next vacation. Today we have a gentleman on this show who will tell you about some of the best places to stay on your next getaway. I know it's only the first week of February, and probably you aren't thinking about your summer vacation yet, but come late March, this man is just too busy to come down here on a Saturday morning and talk to us. With pride and honor, I present to you Drexel Cunningham.
Excuse me, could you repeat that?
Taking out all the fluff, I guess I'm sort of wondering why the listeners would want to hear about your ideal vacation stays the first Saturday in February.
Maybe I'm in the wrong place.
Right. It might be more this season in Florida or Acapulco or Cancun on the eastern seaboard.
You know, what I mean is I might not be, on the right show.
Oh, jeez. I took the wrong guest in here.
They told me to come here and talk about trips, but this is a lawyer show.
Who told you to come down here?
One of his people?
If it was one of his people, I think you're in the right place.
I think maybe I was supposed to go on the show, the recording, across the street in the other building.
Well, you're here, so we may as well make the best of it.
I gotta go.
Oh, come on, you just got here.
Who are you again?
Well, that's what everyone says.
No, I'm serious.
This is Karl Gerber, Workplace Lawyer Show.
You're a real lawyer, right?
Nah, I just pretend I'm Karl Gerber. A lot of people do. It's called fraud.
That's no good. You stealing that man's identity.
Actually, I really am Karl Gerber, and I really am an employee lawyer.
Then there's a question I got that maybe you can answer.
I don't usually answer questions on this show. I just try to keep my head above water with the guests I'm sent.
Okay, so I've got this business, and I was wondering if it's okay to call the managers members, and then I don't have to pay them like an employee. Get it?
Members like in partners?
No, members like those who go around wearing those jackets. Is that what you thought?
I'm sorry, but I don't give legal advice to business owners.
Why is that?
It's always aimed at violating some law, screwing an employee.
I guess I really am in the wrong place.
What makes you think that?
I'm not an employee.
Oh, do you work?
I sort of run the business.
Why only sort of?
It's like a lot of businesses these days. It's mostly automated.
How's that work?
There's no actual way a customer can ever talk to a live person.
Well, can they talk to a dead person?
It's all machine learning, like AI, by text.
Why would anyone want to only communicate with a business by text?
It's so much easier.
Well, doesn't it take longer to type in words on a phone than just to say what it is you want to say?
Easier for who?
Well, the customer.
We don't care about that. We aren't trying to make the customer's life any easier.
Are you purposely trying to frustrate the customer?
That's not a bad thing.
Frustrating the customer?
A lot of them will just give up.
You don't run Verizon Wireless, do you?
I used to work there. We follow their business model.
What business model is that?
If the customer has a problem, our computers start texting them. We pretend it's a real person.
Well, this does sound like Verizon's customer service.
Yeah, it usually goes on for about an hour. And then the customer has to go to bed or change their diaper or whatever. And they don't call back.
Do a lot of your customers change their own diapers?
Not all of them. I'm just thinking of this one lady who used to be an astronaut.
Oh, you know her too?
She's very intense. We go out of our way to pretend her reservations aren't saved on our system.
Oh, are you a travel agency?
We're more of a temporary stay.
Like in a case where something has stayed?
I don't know how that works. We're in the very short-term property rental business.
How short-term?
As little as a half hour. That sets us apart from the other companies.
Why would someone want only a half-hour stay?
It's long enough to use the toilet and take a shower.
Are you catering to homeless people?
Not at all.
What kind of accommodations are these?
A lot of people just want a clean toilet to use. Maybe they've had a big meal and they don't think they'll make it back to, in traffic.
Where are these bathrooms?
They're in houses, apartments, sometimes guest houses, condos too.
How does this work?
We've also got rental arrangements and mobile home parks.
How would somebody go about setting up a half-hour reservation with your company?
It's an app.
I was more thinking, what is going through their minds? A half-hour vacation reservation?
I know there aren't a lot of buffets still serving up pig and salad in Los Angeles. And if there are, not a lot of people take the risk anymore.
My wife always warns about these Chinese all-you-can-eat buffets. The only one I ever went to was by the Oakland airport.
Okay, so say there's a Mother's Day brunch somewhere, okay, around where you live. People used to go to the Sportsman's Lodge before they knocked down the event center to build an expensive retail. Do people still say retail?
Yeah, I went to that buffet quite a few times, taking my mother and my wife on Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is next week. Where are you going to go?
Excuse me, next week is Halloween. You've got it all wrong.
Maybe you live close by the Sportsman's Lodge. Maybe, just maybe, you'd make it home. But if there's a guy who doesn't live close by and they're all going to go swimming afterwards at the public pool, he's going to need a toilet for a half hour.
Do people stay longer at these accommodations of yours?
Sure, up to 28 days.
Well, how would a guy know there's a half an hour rental?
Easy. The app tells them where the closest one is. And that makes a big difference if you've got to go. Or you already started to.
Are some of these homes made available just for bathroom use? And if so, are the toilets turned over quickly? I mean, cleaned every half hour?
Yeah, that might be a problem sometimes.
Well, it certainly could be if they're not.
If there's a family staying in the house and they opt to open up their bathrooms for a half hour or maybe an hour rental, they've got to deal with it.
Why would a renter want to open up the bathroom to a stranger when they're on a vacation?
Because they get credits.
What can they do with these credits?
Lots of things.
Would you care to elaborate?
If a customer has credits, depending on how many credits they get, they might be able to play video games, watch movies. That costs money. If they have enough, they might get a discount on their day. Or if they don't have quite that much, they might actually get maid service.
Drexel, you gotta slow down. This is super weird, and I think the listeners need to comprehend this. They wouldn't get maid service otherwise.
We try to discourage that.
That's horrible. Who want to stay in a place that isn't cleaned and strangers come in and use the bathroom for a half an hour in increments? And I don't mean the strangers have normal bathroom needs. They have grade A stomach aches.
Can you say diarrhea on the radio?
You do know people are eating breakfast and listening to this show.
They should change the channel if they don't like to listen, go listen to something boring if you want.
I think the listeners, they need to be aware of these newfangled businesses and employers.
People don't just rent for a half hour because they need to go to the bathroom real bad.
Do they say rent for an hour just to do their laundry?
Hey, that's a great idea. I'm going to roll with that. I'm going to roll that out as soon as I get back to my workstation.
Okay, this is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. As often happens, we have a guest that was sent here, and I don't know about this business of his. If you have been fired from a business, I am a real employee lawyer. I want to hear from you during normal business hours at the office, 877-525-0700. If you have a case for sexual harassment or unpaid wages, 877-525-0700. If you work for a short-term vacation rental property and were on call, weren't paid for being on call, we got a case like that right now. Please call me at 877-525-0700. This is Talk Radio 790 KABC. We'll be back in a minute for the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show.
Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a results-oriented law firm whose goal is to get the client what they deserve. They've represented thousands of California employees who've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, subjected to employment discrimination, or were owed wages on an individualized or group basis, such as a class action. They have a high rate of success. There are few situations involving employment law that they have not confronted. At the forefront of employee rights, they're often the first employee law firm to confront a new legal issue. For an experienced employment lawyer, call 877-525-0700. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, read more about the firm at employeelawca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. Make your work problem theirs to solve.
Managing your income tax in retirement is often an overlooked opportunity to help make your money last. We believe retirement tax planning means looking closely at both your present and future finances to determine the tax implications on your Social Security benefits, Medicare, and more.
Please register today for an upcoming free tax planning workshop. Register by going to rpoa.com.
Retirement Planners of America, rpoa.com.
The hardest working appliance in your home is the heating and air conditioning system. And to get the most out of your investment, regular maintenance is key. Any problems left unchecked can snowball into a bigger issue and an expensive repair. Cool City Air Conditioning will make sure everything is running efficiently. And when you hire the pros at Cool City, you always get white glove service. Call my friends at Cool City for your annual checkup and tell them Lou Manfredini sent you. 844-COOL-CITY. 844-COOL-CITY. Or go to coolcityac.com.
Pop quiz. If you sell a home for $500,000, how much would a traditional real estate agent charge in commission? If you guessed $25,000 to $30,000, you're right. But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong. This is why thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a full-service experience at a fraction of the cost. Rex uses game-changing technology to cut out the middleman and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees. Remember, this is your home. Why give an insane amount of equity away to an agent? Rex offers the lowest fee in the industry without skimping on service. You'll work with an experienced real estate team with you every step of the way. Get the most out of your home. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-REX-HOME. Licensed real estate broker, DRE number 019766010. Minimum fee may apply. Not licensed in all 50 states. Visit rexhomes.com to see if Rex is available in your area. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
AM 790 KABC.
Yeah, you got to pay a lot of money.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. And I'm sorry if your breakfast is being interrupted, but we've got a very progressive short-term rental app company that lets you pump up in the bathroom for a half hour or just, spend some time in there if you just went to a buffet. So tell me, Drexel Cunningham, I understand families also stay in these accommodations that you have on your app?
Yeah, that's pretty common. But so do couples and single people.
Why would somebody stay for only an hour?
If the guest is cost conscious, okay, they might want to make sure the place gets as much as possible, like as much use as possible, especially if they aren't there.
Isn't there a risk of theft?
Nah, they sign lots of disclosures on their phones.
Those might not be legal.
Might not? Do you know 100% if they are? Or are you just going around throwing that out there when you don't know?
Don't tell me another stranger comes in and uses the bed while the guest is out eating dinner.
Why? Is that weird?
Do they make the beds when they leave?
We've got cameras to monitor that.
Oh, do the guests know?
We promise not to share the footage with anybody.
Why would somebody come and use a bed just while the regular guest is out eating dinner?
Well, they might be budget conscious too, or they're having a really good time in Irvine. The Spectrum? They might not want to sleep too long, just long enough before the regular guest comes back, and then they're back to the Irvine Spectrum.
Has this actually happened?
To level with you, probably not.
I didn't think so. The Irvine Spectrum isn't exactly like being out on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, that's a whole different market. But over at the Spectrum, they've got Javier's and the Marriott.
Why in Irvine? You do business there, right? I mean, why would someone in Irvine want to use a bed while the regular guest is out to dinner?
A Tinder hookup?
Is that a fact?
Well, there's Christian Nation, Men Nation for Guys, Grindr. There's Casual X. Have you tried that one?
I can't say I have.
Yeah, it's a good one. They run our ads, bring in lots of hookups.
Does this half-hour-to-hour bed rental thing go on in the rentals where families might stay?
I'm not going to lie to you and say it doesn't happen.
I think your business is not reputable.
Hey, it's been going on for years. There's been motels, they rent by the hour since my granddaddy was having flings at the Holiday Inn in Van Nuys. This is the best of two possible worlds for all the guests.
Well, how? Dirty linens?
We try to make the guests feel real bad if they want maid service. We say it isn't ecological. We have little signs to put on the door that say, I'm being ecological today, don't clean my room.
This is gross.
All the major hotel chains are doing it now.
Renting by the hour?
That too.
Where do you find members to work for this horrid business?
That's easy. A lot of guys these days, girls too, are being fired by the White House. Their only option shouldn't be writing a tell-all book.
Let me guess. Your business is called Watergate.
We're called cheapvacationrentals.com. Haven't you heard of us?
Oh, God. I've heard the ads on the other AM station.
Yep. That's where all the desperate people listen. They haven't got the kind of listeners you have here on AM 790.
I sort of hate to ask, but how is your business going?
Our profits have gone up 300% since Nazuki rolled out that nuru massage app for seniors.
Oh, these seniors, they get some oily massage. They get even more oily as it goes along. And then the regular guest comes back from an early dinner and finds the bed all grossed out with neuro massage oil and various human oils.
Oh, I try not to think about that.
Even though you try it, it has crossed your mind.
You better believe it has. That's why we've got all sorts of stuff programmed in to the AI text chat if a guest tries to complain.
I didn't know the neuromassage app was taking off so well.
It's big, especially in places like Rancho Cucamonga and Seal Beach. They've got Leisure World down there in Seal Beach.
Oh, my.
The other thing that's been good for the short-term rental business is the yoni lady.
No.
Fortunately for us, she's rolled out a yoni massage app too.
Oh, that's dreadful.
You aren't sexist, are you?
Of course not. A lot of my practice is sexual harassment, pregnancy discrimination, various gender inequalities.
Women aren't that into neuro massage, but boy, are some of them into the whole yoni experience. Did you read Gwyneth Paltrow went and copied you and talked about yoni steamings like you did on episode 91? I heard it on the Karl Gerber with a K channel.
For a little while there, I thought you were on the wrong show.
All I know is Remus Helms told me to come down here early Saturday morning.
Remus Helms sent you?
Did I stutter?
In case he's listening, there's something we have to say. This program has been made possible through a generous grant from the Helms Foundation's $5.14 billion in funding and 14 inches of endowment.
He said you might say that.
Since we're probably going to talk about employment law at some point this morning, I want to confirm that you have employees in California.
Not employees, members.
Do you do a lot of business in California?
There are 3,114 single-family dwellings in our database, 11,114 condos and townhomes, 21,114 Section 8 apartments being rented out by the tenants, 114,000 rent-controlled apartments being rented out by the tenants, 1,114 mobile homes, and 114 shipping containers.
Well, that sure is a lot of 14s.
When we do clean, our maids are size 14s.
You only hire female maids and they have to be the same size? Size requirements for the airline stewardesses was the original sex discrimination lawsuit.
Our maids aren't real people.
And in other words, this is existential cleaning. You don't really clean.
We use robots.
Well, are these like those vacuums that go from like side to side of the room?
Our maids look like a real person.
But all size 14.
All the same person.
That's creepy.
That's the breaks when you're using recalled sex robots.
You're using sex robots to clean the cheap vacation rentals?
Yep. Got them at a blowout sale over at the $1.14 store.
Oh, excuse me, I may have forgotten to do the sponsorship plug. This program is made possible by a generous grant provided by the Helms Foundation's $5.14 billion in funding and 14 inches of endowment.
Gosh, that's a lot of endowment.
Well, what if a family walked in on the $1.14 robot cleaning?
She's all covered up.
Is there just one robot?
You probably heard about all of Remus's Helms recalled sex robots.
I've heard rumors, mostly rumors. I did hear the Nuru Nurse Nazuki unit was selling at the 99-cent store. I think that was just a rumor, though. I don't remember who told us that. It was probably the Yoni lady in episode 91.
I tell you, we drove the 15-passenger Ford van over to the $1.14 store. The van used to be a church bus, and we loaded it up with lots of Delicious Devine.
Delicious Devine? She's the boss of Cindy D, the most famous landline phone sex operator in the world who speaks English. And Delicious Devine and Cindy D did a 2-girl muscular dystrophy fundraiser, and they raised some obscene amount of money in the length of a premature orgasm.
Delicious Devine is also the queen who sold Cindy D's rerun phone sex calls to the Helms Corporation so they could make that not very accurate Cindy D sex robot. Maybe you got stuck in her.
We've heard a lot about Delicious Devine, but we've never met her. I hear she lays around eating bonbons all day and doing those phone sex calls when she's not supervising over at Underground Operators in Pasadena.
If she's anything like her sex robot, she sure is delicious.
I heard she's something like 60. I mean, I'm not young myself, but this is, a mature woman.
The robotress were brand new, I think. Well, maybe a little used. I had them clean each other out.
Oh, that's disgusting. This is a morning show.
Mr. Gerber, it was the deal of the century. These models originally retailed for $49.99.
Now, okay, I don't know. I just got these guests sent to me by Remus Helms. I really am a workplace lawyer, and I actually am a women's rights lawyer. I've done more pregnancy discrimination trials than anything else. If you have a problem with that, I would like to hear from you at the office during normal business hours at 877-525-0700. If you need to sue your employer for wages that have not been paid, they misclassified you as an independent contractor, maybe they called you a manager when you weren't, I'm at 877-525-0700. Once again, I can be reached, Karl Gerber, at 877-525-0700 between 9 and 6:30 during the week. Thank you for listening to Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I don't know what we're going to hear next from this crazy Drexel Cunningham on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
On vacation tonight.
AM 790
KABC.
Talk Radio 790 KABC News, live and local. I am Tom Looney. Last night, some guy climbed the scaffolding that was set up for the Oscars at the Dolby Theater at Hollywood and Highland. After hours of negotiations, cops and fire department had decided to stop giving him attention. They left. He's still up there. The coronavirus has San Gabriel Valley residents so freaked out that the city of Alhambra has canceled their Lunar New Year festival. It was scheduled for today, and that's a big deal. That's a big party. Last night, a celebration of Kobe Bryant's life inside and outside Staples Center.
I got a lot of comfort from seeing all the fans out here.
Channel 5 was out there covering it. It was the first Laker game since Kobe died.
And as I look around this arena, we're all hurt, we're all heartbroken. But when we're going through things like this, the best thing you can do is lean on the shoulders of your family.
That's Lakers star LeBron James addressing the crowd, 19,000 strong. Lakers lost the game to the Trailblazers. Tom Looney, KABC News.
The Employment Lawyers Group is a results-driven law firm whose goal is to get the right result for the client. They have represented employees with a high rate of success since 1993 throughout the state of California. They're only paid and if they are able to collect money from the employer, so there's not any upfront fees or costs in order to hire them. They have represented thousands of employees who've been terminated from their jobs, sexually harassed, subjected to employment discrimination, or are owed wages in an individualized or group basis such as a class action. Call 877-525-0700. That's 877-525-0700. They have operators standing by. They can also be reached at employeelawca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. Hire them and make your workplace problem theirs to solve.
Everybody loves the thought of a fresh start. And if you're sick of struggling financially, or if you have some bad debt dragging you down, Oak Tree Law can help.
A father in Pasadena fell $48,000 behind on his mortgage, and the bank issued a sale date on his home. Oak Tree Law stepped in and immediately stopped the sale date and got a modification with a lower interest and payment.
Another story from Murrieta. A woman was $99,000 in credit card debt, wages being garnished. Oak Tree Law was able to erase 100% of the debt and remove the wage garnishment entirely.
A listener from West Covina had a $250,000 lien placed on their house from a failed business. Oak Tree Law was able to get the lien stripped off the property and eliminate $486,000 in credit card and business debt.
Real stories, real people. So no matter what your situation is, no matter what kind of debt you have, if you need help and you're tired of stressing, call Oak Tree Law right now. Call 866-669-0900. That's 866-669-0900.
Start 2020 with a clean slate. Call 866-669-0900. 866-669-0900.
Get Smash Mouth Conservative Talk. Afternoons 3 to 6 with Ben Shapiro on AM 790 KABC. Your home for Trojans football.
Fight on! Oh, yeah, you got to pay a lot of money for your lawyer.
Talk Radio 790 KBC. You're listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I'm Karl Gerber. I've got a guy on here who's got a vacation rental short-term business, and I wouldn't power swab in his bathrooms. People rent them out by the half hour. It's gross. So the other thing he's telling us is he used a sex robot to clean the vacation rental, and you got it for, what, about $50?
Yeah, they were the cheapest in the line, just under $5,000.
Have you attired these Delicious Devine sex robots differently, or are they cleaning cheap vacation rentals you've got over there? I mean, I guess the shipping containers too, dressed in a powder blue baby doll.
Yep. And it's see-through too.
Well, this is plain weird.
Here's where I need your advice. Okay, so there was an incident with the coronavirus.
Oh, you're doing business in China too?
No, this happened in the Inland Empire.
What happened?
Now that I'm thinking about it, well, I might have to hire Molly Machete to do one of those non-neutral workplace investigations. You know, the kind where she finds for the party who pays the most.
I've heard.
Yeah. I'm thinking it might be Delicious Devine, not the real person. She was lounging around on the couch eating bonbons, and she was supposed to be cleaning the unit. Maybe she didn't do a very good job.
Well, this sounds like a lot of speculation based on general personality traits, habit evidence. You know, it never works in a civil lawsuit. This is a bunch of inadmissible evidence you've got.
But I've got footage. I told you, Everything that goes on in the rental is filmed.
Even the half-an-hour toilet uses?
Those two.
Oh, brother. I find these workplace videos never show what either party expects them to. You know, wrong camera angles, hard to see, unrecorded verbal.
We've got it all recorded.
Well, then you'll have to review it.
I've got it right here. Take a look.
Okay. What is this? Whoa! What? My God, I didn't know that's what she did with the bombs.
It happens every so often. Hey, do you think I could get sued if a guest sees this happen?
Unless you are interested, unless the guests are interested in something like that, it would be highly offensive. You really shouldn't use sex robots to clean. I mean, trying to repurpose them. I think they're just good for one thing.
Hey, you get what you pay for.
It's a lot of AI for $1.14.
I've only been using them about a week and a half.
Have there been other incidents?
I'm telling you, they named a virus because of what's going on in one of those houses. It's terrible for the company.
Well, you've brought it on yourself, repurposing a recalled sex robot to do janitorial work. I mean, why was the model recalled anyway?
Delicious Devine is a size 18. She told Remus Helms the model wasn't voluptuous enough.
Well, I thought everyone knows a sex robot is not necessarily to scale.
Nah, that's why all those guys who bought the Cindy D sex robot sued.
They got stuck.
Cindy D. Don't you get it?
Oh, that's her bust size.
Once I heard you say this on this very show, she was a C.
I guess we could do a formal media retraction.
The guys weren't too happy with that reduction in their sex robot.
The robot looks Asian. Cindy D is a Danish-looking blonde. She didn't give the most accurate descriptions when she was on the rerun phone sex calls.
That's why we have webcam credits over at the rentals.
That's perverted.
A lot of people need a webcam studio. There isn't enough space around. Maybe you've heard about that.
I actually have read in legitimate newspapers and forums of print journalism that is true.
If all they need is the bedroom, the family can use, the living room and vice versa. If all they need is the couch to do their sex, the family can just stay in the bedroom until the show's done.
I'm a little confused. How could there be any worse press for your business than there should already be with the half-an-hour bathroom rentals after a trip to a buffet, the 1-hour rentals when the family goes out to dinner so a senior can use the place for a nuru massage ordered up on Nazuki's neuro massage app for seniors, and of course, now we learn about illicit webcam shows that might be going on in a room while the family's in another room.
It's all coming and going. More coming if it's a short-term rental.
Well, I hope the rates are as cheap as they should be.
But now that they're saying the virus is spread or started or spreads on account of one of those houses in the system, that's real bad.
What is this virus? Gross.
There's a mobile home over in Corona. That's where the video I showed you was filmed. That Delicious Devine robot just kept going, and just kept doing the thing with the bonbons. And, she never cleaned anything.
Did the bonbons melt?
Yeah, all over the couch. It looked like somebody had the runs.
Are you sure one of the half-hour to hour toilet rental guests didn't just plop down on the couch for recovery between one of their toilet runs?
Nope. You know why? We got it all documented on the footage. The stains are from the sex robot.
Well, if it was just bonbons in that particular place, How could a virus have started? Plus, she's a robot.
It's all over the news.
I imagine it would be. I mean, this is truly bizarre. A plus-size sex robot. You're trying to clean a bizarre vacation rental and more in a mobile home park, but she's doing obscene things with bonbons and a powder blue baby doll nightgown.
You're making this sound worse than it actually is.
I don't think so.
On Tuesday, they said there were 5 cases in the U.S., and they're blaming me.
Really strange things can be started with those sex robots. I remember a time that Remus Helms was making billions off them, and they were learning that they were procreating and causing excess fluids to be thrust into the magna of the earth, which caused Swarmageddon. Lots of tiny earthquakes in Fontana by the Remus Helms Worldwide Distribution Center. That's episode 63 on the Karl Gerber with a K channel on YouTube.
Yeah, it's given Corona a bad name.
I think Fontana has gotten a worse name with Remus Helms Phallic-Shaped Worldwide Distribution Center and all the disgusting repercussions.
Yeah, our properties are pretty busy on Fontana. They say that Worldwide Distribution Center attracts more visitors per day than Disneyland.
I didn't know it was open to the general public.
They give tours to college kids and stuff, but most visitors are coming to do business there. A lot of people from the Orient, too. They say it's the window to the East.
I'm glad to hear everybody is making money other than me. I mean, hey, people, you got to hire my law firm if you need to sue your employer. This show is costing me an arm and a leg, and I ain't no sex robot with disposable body parts. Call 877-525-0700 if you need to sue your employer. 877-525-0700 if you want the kind of representation that could take on Remus Helms. I'm not saying I would, but most couldn't take on a company as big as his. 877-525-0700 during normal business hours to start a class action against an employer for something real, not recalled sex robots.
I'm in the same position. The whole virus thing has dragged us down to the ground.
I haven't heard anything about what you're claiming.
Where have you been? Hellhole Palm's working on that one-woman election for assistant dope waxer? It's all over the news.
What? The sex robots recalled?
They're calling it the coronavirus.
Yes, the stock market dropped over 600 points on Friday, 400 points on Monday because the investors thought there'd be a slowdown in China.
What about in Corona?
Luckily, the only cases of the coronavirus in the U.S., and I think there's 6 now, they've involved people that had direct contact with people in China. Okay, people, this is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. We try to cover the strangest things out there in the world, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of it this morning. I don't think the coronavirus started in a mobile home park with a sex robot doing obscene things with bonbons. I'm not trying to mislead you. Remus Helms sends me these guests, and, if this is what this guy thinks, I think we got to hear him out. It's important sometimes just to hear people out, even if they're wrong. But if you are right and your employer really did something bad to you and you really need to sue, and they've brought your whole life down, and they've ruined you, and they've taken your reputation, I'm there for you at 877-525-0700 during normal business hours. 877-525-0700 for the real workplace lawyer. That's Karl Gerber. Thanks for listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. We'll be back in a minute on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a consistent force in fighting for the rights of California employees. They've represented thousands of employees in cases in which they've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, discriminated against at work, or owed wages individually or as a group such as a class action. The Employment Lawyers Group has maintained a high win rate and a serious record before the California courts. Please call 877-525-0700 for an experienced work lawyer. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, research the firm at worklawyerca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. If you hire the Employment Lawyers Group, your legal problem becomes theirs to solve.
Do you sell stuff online? Then you're probably still recovering from that crazy holiday shopping season. Well, there's a way to help you make 2020 less crazy and more successful. It's called ShipStation. ShipStation makes managing and shipping orders a breeze by allowing you to import orders from any sales channel. No matter where you're selling, ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface. They work with all major carriers, including USPS, FedEx, and UPS, allowing you to compare and choose the best shipping solution for you and your customer. ShipStation offers discounts on shipping rates so you can access the same discounts usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies. There's a reason ShipStation is the #1 choice of online sellers. Start this year right at ShipStation.com. Use offer code RADIO to get a 60-day trial free. That's 2 months free of no-hassle, stress-free shipping. Visit ShipStation.com. Click the microphone at the top of the page and type RADIO. That's ShipStation.com. Offer code RADIO. ShipStation. Make ship happen. Postage rates have gone up again. Thankfully, Stamps.com eases the pain with big discounts off post office retail rates, like 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off shipping rates. That kind of savings really adds up, especially for small businesses. You can forget about inconvenient trips to the post office, too, since Stamps.com is completely online. Use your computer to print official U.S. postage for any letter, package, or class of mail anywhere you want to send. Once your mail's ready, drop it in a mailbox or hand it to your mail carrier. It's that simple. Not to mention, it's a fraction of the cost of expensive postage meters, and there's no equipment to lease or long-term commitments. See why over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. Listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type radio. That's Stamps.com. Enter radio.
From East LA to West LA. Get it right. AM 790 KABC.
Oh, yeah, you got to pay a lot of money for your lawyer.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to Karl Gerber, Workplace Lawyer Show, and I'm Karl Gerber, a real workplace lawyer, and we've got this guy with this weird vacation rental business, and he's now trying to tell us the coronavirus started in a mobile home in Corona with a sex robot and bonbons. And no, I got to, the thing is, Drexel, it only happened if people were in China and, got infected there.
How can that be when the whole thing started in a mobile home estate in Corona? I'm telling you the truth. The one I got the bonbon footage from. That's
look, I don't know what got started with a bunch of bonbons and a sex robot, but the coronavirus didn't start in Corona, California.
Are you sure? How can you be sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Well, that's a relief.
You believe me that easily?
Okay, now you're making me wonder.
Listeners, do you have any information that the coronavirus started in the living room of a cheap vacation rental in Corona, California?
Waiting. No, nobody's talking back at us.
See, I'm right.
No, I'm pretty sure the coronavirus started in a mobile home park, the home rental inside the mobile home estates in Corona, California. Yep.
How does this virus work?
It's pretty bad, brother.
People are dying from the virus you're referring to.
I didn't say nothing like that. It's actually it's a computer virus.
And this is in the news?
Yep. Wherever you touch, like a cell phone or a computer or even tables, an image pops up of the Delicious Devine sex robot all dolled up in her powder blue baby doll doing that thing I just told you about with the bonbons.
Luckily, my office has not been infected.
It's all over the place. I'm telling you, it is all over the
Have
place.
you personally experienced this little computer glitch?
Oh, yeah. Sunday morning, I'm over at the church listening to the sermon. And the minister has the PowerPoint up, and it shows, the Spirit, and it shows love in a lot of places. He goes to change it to the next image, and all of a sudden, the whole congregation sees, get this, in church.
I don't want to hear about this, nor do our religious listeners.
You have to because it happened.
Okay.
First, you see the inside of the home in Mobility Estates, Corona. Okay, they've got this end table from Akron with the turquoise ashtray on top. You know the image. And then there's this Naga hide couch with the little white pieces from inside, like sticking out and pointing out. And Delicious Devine sex robot sits down. Okay, she spreads her legs. It ain't ladylike, I tell you.
People are eating breakfast.
The people, I don't know if it's the family staying there or maybe somebody just renting the bathroom or somebody renting the laundry room for a half hour, right? But anyway, there's a box of bonbons on the pressed wood end table from Akron. Delicious Devine, she reaches back onto the table and goes something like, and then she eats one, she licks her fingers, and she reaches down and takes another one out, and she starts putting them.
This is what you saw at church?
It came so fast, nobody knew it was coming.
You're saying this happened to machinery all over the place?
I guess. Mostly Corona, I guess.
So if I stay out of Corona, I won't have this thing popping up on my electronic devices?
No, I don't think that's right. It's all over the news. They quarantined people when they came into some air base in Riverside. That's not too far from
the coronavirus have nothing to do with Delicious Devine, powder blue baby doll nightgowns, or bonbons?
That's exactly what the coronavirus is. The Corona manager won't go near Corona.
Where does the Corona manager live?
She lives somewhere in China.
How is she supposed to manage rental properties in Corona if she lives in China?
It's all done over the internet.
You don't have any physical people, and I would normally refer to as employees, but you refer to them as managers because you think you can avoid some employment law, yeah?
No. People anywhere near Corona.
It's always mind-boggling to hear about these newfangled businesses. They always seem to strive to provide fewer and fewer services and less human contact.
Well, if you can get a janitor for $1.14 and use her over and over and over and over again, maybe get her bonbons every now and again, wouldn't you do it?
Hell no! Look at the problems you're facing.
This is just a little snag. Once the whole coronavirus blows over, we'll have our reputation back.
You don't see a potential problem with self-pleasuring robots eating the guests' food instead of cleaning the rental?
It is what it is. The customer knows they aren't staying at the Hilton.
Well, it doesn't sound like a Motel 6 either.
I tell you, we're managed right. We've got metrics for the kitchens, metrics for the beds, metrics for the bathroom.
Do those metrics include a cleaning schedule?
We're a startup. We've only been around since 2006. We're a pretty new business.
14 years for a business isn't exactly a startup.
We're so new, we never even had the need to do any cleaning before the start of this year.
Well, who is cleaning these thousands of rentals?
I don't know. It's a good question. Can I get back to you on that?
No.
There was this one time a couple of weeks ago I wanted to see who did a better job, my niece or the discounted Delicious Devine phone sex robots.
I would never bring my niece to a place. It's not that they're mobile homes and shipping containers. It's the sex robots and the people using the bathrooms after the buffets and the neuromassages for seniors when the regular guests are out to dinner.
I thought about that. I did. And in the end, I decided my niece needed to get out of Calabasas, see more of the world. I don't want her thinking it's all like, keeping up with the Kardashians and stuff.
Of course, real-life experiences, sex robots in baby doll nightgowns, cleaning a vacation rental, very typical.
Carmen always liked to clean things first. She cleaned out my sister, literally. Yeah, she had a real prescription drug problem. Not Carmen, her mother, my sister. It's all Dr. Zhivago's fault. A lot of the stuff she's selling, it's the Xi'an in the mornings on the West Coast. Those pills should require prescriptions.
I just think having your niece be the guinea pig to the first person, I mean real person that is, to clean one of these vacation rentals was a bit overboard.
Yeah, it didn't go so well.
Don't tell me. Your niece got all caught up with the bonbons and couldn't focus on the matters at hand. I mean, not what she might have done with her hands and the bonbons, but the handwork. Job for her hands, cleaning the windows and vacuuming the counters.
Yeah, Carmen was all dolled up in her exercise clothes. She was ready to roll, ready to take on the sex robot.
If Carmen was capable of putting that sex robot out, I don't think the world would be a worse place.
After what happened, Carmen wanted to take the phone sex robot out, but she couldn't.
I can only imagine what happened.
Well, the Delicious Devine sex robot was jumping up and down on the bed, dusting it. I tell you, I never saw all of the flying dust mites before. Then she sprays 409 on her thighs and lays down on the kitchen counter and starts giving that counter the sexiest thigh job you've ever seen. Carmen couldn't keep up.
Did Carmen lay down on the counter and clean it off with her exercise clothes?
She was walking around with paper towels and a squirt bottle. That's no match for a sex robot.
Oh, this is much stranger than I ever imagined.
The sex robot was burning the carpet, cleaning the dishes with her tongue, lapping up little bits of Cool Whip left around the house like they do a lot these days, you know, on the stairs and the doorknobs. There was no way Carmen could keep up. Carmen's Fitbit started going crazy, and she had to lay down until her heart rate went back to normal.
I've heard that humans who work around robots in the workplace experience extreme amounts of stress. I mean, I don't know if it's the fact they can't keep up, they're afraid the robot will hurt them, or they're just worrying about whether their jobs are secure.
Brother, I tell you, I won't ever pit one of them sex robots against a human again.
Oh, I hope not. And I hope next week we have a better guest. I don't know. We might be on at 7 o'clock on Saturday. And, you know, these are live shows here on the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. And as you know, I am a real workplace lawyer. I do represent employees, and we are taking cases. I do hope you call the office at 877-525-0700 for a real wrongful termination case. Maybe you were exposed to something very offensive. I mean, things could be worse than a plus-size 60-year-old sex robot doing that stuff with the bonbons. I mean, you know, real people do terrible, disgusting things too, and that does cause lawsuits that I get involved in at 877-525-0700. 877-525-0700. If your job requires you to buy things, maybe bonbons, maybe hard candies, if you're a phone sex operator and they're not reimbursing you, we actually do employment reimbursement cases. 877-525-0700. I would encourage you to subscribe to the Karl Gerber with a K channel on YouTube, because this show is on either at 7 p.m. on Saturday or at 10 a.m. on Saturday, depending on whether there's a USC game. And if you subscribe, you'll always know, because we do little alerts saying, well, we're not going to be on at 7 p.m. We'll be on at 10 a.m. So please have a wonderful week of workplace abuse. Oh, I don't mean you should. I mean, if you do, I think you know where to call. Talk Radio 790 KABC. This has been the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I'll hear from you next week and talk to you too.
With someone.
Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a results-oriented law firm whose goal is to get the client what they deserve. They've represented thousands of California employees who've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, subjected to employment discrimination, or were owed wages on an individualized or group basis, such as a class action. They have a high rate of success. There are few situations involving employment law that they have not confronted. At the forefront of employee rights, they're often the first employee law firm to confront a new legal issue. For an experienced employment lawyer, call 877-525-0700. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, read more about the firm at employeelawca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. Make your work problem theirs to solve.